Let me ask you something. Have you ever hired someone who seemed, good enough at the time, only to realize a few months later that, oops, they were absolutely not the right fit? I have definitely been there. And let me tell you, it is a costly mistake you only want to make once.
So why on earth does this keep happening, right? Why do smart managers, people like you and me, end up settling for candidates who just fizzle out in the long run? It's a super common problem, and it's incredibly frustrating.
Because here's the honest-to-goodness truth. Good enough is basically a recipe for disaster. An okay hire doesn't just hold you steady, they actively pull your business down. I'm talking about missed deadlines, team morale taking a nosedive, and your actual A players getting bogged down. And the financial cost? Oh, it's huge. A bad hire can easily cost you 30% of their first-year salary. So yeah, the stakes are unbelievably high.
Okay, so what is really going on here? Well, it turns out the reason we make these bad calls isn't always about the candidates. It's about a sneaky little psychological trick our own minds play on us during the hiring process.
It's something called the contrast principle. Basically, it's a cognitive bias where our brain judges something based on what came right before it. And when it comes to hiring, this bias is like a silent killer of good judgment.
So let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're interviewing candidate number 1. And they are a complete train wreck. Totally unprepared. Can't answer the basic questions, hasn't looked at your website, it's a disaster. Then candidate number 2 walks in, and they're fine, just average.
But this is where the trap is sprung. Because you just saw someone so terrible, this perfectly average candidate suddenly looks like an absolute rock star. The contrast creates this illusion of excellence. And that is the exact moment you're most at risk of making an offer to a good enough candidate. So how do we fight back against our own brains? Well, the key is to stop comparing and start measuring. We have to get disciplined. I'm going to walk you through a really simple 3-step framework that's going to help you avoid this trap for good.
All right, here's the whole shebang. It's all about discipline. First step, you have to create a detailed job scorecard before you even think about interviewing anyone. This defines exactly what success in the role looks like. Step 2 is just as critical. You measure every single candidate against that same objective scorecard. No exceptions, this keeps you focused. And then step 3, well, that's the final crucial gut check question, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Now remember, finding those A players, it's a two-way street. You need a great process on your end, but they also need to present themselves professionally. A sloppy resume can easily knock an amazing candidate out of the running before you ever even see their name.
And that's exactly where our sponsor, MobileCV.ai, comes into play. It's this brilliant AI tool that can turn basically any document into a perfectly formatted professional CV in, under a minute. It uses these world-class templates, actually LaTeX templates, so the design is always clean, modern, and really stands out.
Now get this, because this is kind of nuts. 75% of resumes get automatically rejected by those screening filters, the ATS bots, before a human ever lays eyes on them. Mobile CV's formatting is specifically optimized to get candidates past those bots. Best part? There's no monthly subscription, you just pay as you go, and you get 3 free credits right from the start to try it out. Okay, so let's get back to our fix. It's time for that third and final step. After you've measured a candidate against your scorecard, it's time for the ultimate gut check. I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. Based on everything I know today, would I enthusiastically rehire this person? Now that word enthusiastically, that's the key. The answer can't be, maybe, or yeah, I think so. It has to be a clear, gut-level, resounding yes. And this really shows you the 2 paths you can take. A yes means you've probably found someone who's going to elevate your entire business. But any hesitation, any no or maybe, that's a huge red flag that you're about to hire someone who will eventually drag the team down. Just don't do it. Walk away. Believe me, I learned this one the hard way. I once hired someone who seemed absolutely fantastic compared to a really, really weak applicant pool. But about 6 months in, I just got that sinking feeling in my stomach. They were just, Not bad, but not great. Not driving results. It was a tough lesson, but wow, was it a valuable one. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Stop measuring candidates against each other. That is a race to the middle every single time. Instead, you need to measure every single candidate against the objective requirements of the role, the scorecard you built. That is how you find the people who truly elevate your business. And to help you actually put all of this into practice, I've created my personal hiring checklist and a whole mission-driven hiring playbook over in Notion. So if you're ready to stop settling and finally start hiring true A players, just shoot me a message and I will happily share the link with you. Now go out there and build a great team.